The Taliban swept to power in Afghanistan in a matter of weeks and seized control of the capital Kabul without facing much resistance from the US-trained Afghan security forces, as foreign troops and citizens were scrambling to leave the country before a deadline set by US President Joe Biden. The security situation at the international Kabul airport deteriorated to the point where US intelligence agencies warned about an extreme risk to people present at or in the vicinity of the airport. On August 26th, a bomb attack hit the crowds outside the airport, killing over 180 people, including 13 US military personnel. The attack was claimed by an offshoot of the Daesh terror group called Daesh-K. The Taliban said the attack took place in an area that was supposed to be secured by the US troops. The group also blamed the US and the hurried evacuations for the incident, saying there wouldn't be any bomb attack if the situation were calmer. Daesh-K has fought both foreign forces and the Taliban in Afghanistan since its formation in 2015. The Taliban now say they don't need international help to uproot the terrorists.
The U.S. has been 20 years in Afghanistan, has accomplished nothing good. The Taliban doesn't want the U.S. involved anymore, but the fact that a country doesn't want U.S. involvement doesn't mean the U.S. will not be involved. Let's hope that this is ending, but that remains to be seen.
Army General Mark Milley, chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, had earlier floated the possibility of coordinating strikes against Daesh with the Taliban. The United States has no longer any army troops on the ground in Afghanistan, nor any air bases near the country. Washington, however, has pledged to continue what it calls fighting terrorism in the Central Asian country. The only way for the US to carry out strikes on Afghanistan is by deploying its aircraft carriers. The US is reportedly considering keeping its aircraft carriers in the region, including in the Arabian Sea, to continue its operations there. But that requires new calls for funds and creates some technical obstacles, including intelligence collection over such long distances. It also means that President Biden's claim about wanting to end America's endless wars is somewhat misleading. In the meantime, some US politicians are expecting troops back on Afghanistan's soil.
We will be going back into Afghanistan as we went back into Iraq and Syria.
Hang on, you seriously think the United States will once again, in a foreseeable future, put troops back into Afghanistan?
We'll have to, because the threat will be so large.
But while even some of Washington's NATO allies have expressed their dissatisfaction with the outcome of the 20-year-long war, how is going back to Afghanistan feasible for the United States?
Lindsey Graham, of course, is very anxious to have more wars. He's heavily financed in his campaigns by military contracts to the U.S. In the 2020 election cycle, they donated nearly $400,000 to his campaign. So he has, and this is not new in 2020, he has often said how much he supports rebuilding the military, as he calls it, in order to protect U.S. freedoms.
The fact that the Taliban came to power even before the foreign troops left Afghanistan's soil shows that the West's military intervention in the country can never succeed.